Hello, hello, hello. Sorry about that. I don't know exactly what happened, but somehow I think I started and then ended the thing like right away. So, yeah, I don't know what happened. That was weird. I was trying to you know, put on the troll spray and somehow something happened. But anyway, that's enough. I'll let Who Shot John. The important thing is that we're together now. And what is it? Happy Independence Day, Ghana? Wow, that is so cool. I had no idea. Wow, okay. Well, happy Independence Day, Ghana. Very, very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Is it Essie Mensei? Thank you so much for sharing that. And let's see. So Lydia was here first, maybe for the second time. And Carol Lunn, Jay Peterson, thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Annie Bullard, Angela M64. Okay. And thank you so much for being here. Phyllis Johnson, Kenitha Ash, Victoria Fabre, Berta Sanchez, Noreen Bengali, Fancy Fancy, Reba Henderson, and Nellie Mayo Vanga. And is that Myra V? Yes. Jennifer Clark. Navi D, thank you. Elaine Parker. Mama Jane, Janice Goodrich. Let me see. Embassy Charles. Okay. 1998 champions. Would that be the Bulls, perhaps? Let me see. Judy Matisid. Okay. All right. So let's just get started. Hey, Black Queen. You know what? I think I saw you the first time around. All right. Cool. So anyway, I'm glad that we're back together. Jael, hello, Jael. Let me see here. Lucy Wynn. Okay. All right. So, let me get my slides up again. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being concerned about me yesterday. That was very, very sweet. But I am just fine. New York Yankees bear in 1998. Okay, thank you so much, 1998 champions. Okay, and let's see. Oh, yes, today is the 6th. Ah, okay. Very cool. All right. Oh, all right. Let me see. And I got that done. All right. Yeah, everything is cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. And I guess I don't. All right. That is not good, but that's okay. Let's just go to the next slide, shall we? Oh, I tell you what. Let's do this from the other day. I'll put that up. There we go. I like that one too. Royal Sussex. All right. And still no bell today. Sorry about that. If I were your bell, baby, I would ring. Tell the whole world about your love and everything. Oh, thank you so much for that, Church Nelly. Let me highlight that. If I were a bell, baby, I would ring from the hilltops, ring from each and every mountainside. Uh, if I'm singing, I must be feeling better. Okay, I am going to highlight that as soon as I can. Jael has a, um, okay, let me do this. One thing at a time, no multitasking today. Oh, wow. Church Nelly, I think I just lost that link you posted. Can you do that again, please? I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, man. All right. Nope. Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. That's what I need to do. Mm, okay. Has anybody heard from Anastasia Isabella? How is she? Um, okay. Sorry, guys. You know what? I'm getting used to the new computer, and we'll get there. We'll get there. How long it'll take, I'm not sure, but we will get there. Ah, got it, got it, got it. All right. So, okay. All right. So, when you have a chance to later, Church Nelly, I'll look for it. All right. Very good. Very good. If I were a bell. All right. Sorry about that. And that's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. So don't forget, you guys, don't forget, tomorrow is a Better Up event. Tomorrow is a Better Up event. And that event will include Prince Harry, the next big appearance following book release. This was posted on January 26th. Um, and it's alongside Issa Rae. The Duke of Sussex is on the star-studded lineup of speakers for Better Up and Coming, upcoming that is, conference. So on Thursday, Better Up announced. Well, again, this was from a, but anyway, Duke of Sussex will speak at the Coaching and Mental Health Company's up and coming, upcoming. Why I keep saying up and coming? Upcoming Uplift Summit in San Francisco in March. I wonder if that means he'll be, well, anyway, I don't know. So, let me see. In March. Oh, yeah, he'll join Issa Rae, David Chang, Robin Arzon, Arzon, Adam Grant, and more to discuss purpose, performance, and human transformation. Better Up said in a statement, the conference is set to be held on March 7th and 8th. Oh, wow. I wonder if he's going to be there for 2 days or if he'll be there on the 8th. That's interesting. I suppose it'll be 2 days. Anyway, you still have time to register, I suspect. Today is March the 6th, so the event is on the 7th and the 8th. So take advantage of it while you can. All right. Mm. Oh, thank you so much, Lydia. I will use that right now. Let me see here. So Lydia has the link. I am going to post it, and you guys will be able to make it do what it do. Okay, and there it is. I have pegged it to the top of the chat, so you can sign up for this Better Up event and to give you a chance to see uh, Prince Harry, and you don't even have to go through the filter of one of the tabloids because even though they were not supposed to share any of the footage from that last event, they certainly did it anyway, didn't they? Hello, Kanitha Ash. Hello, Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Did I do Connie Balmer yesterday? I'm so sorry. I don't think I did do it. Okay. Joyce Vos is here. Sharon Chung. Iris Demonia. Maggie Howell. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So, again, tomorrow, Uplift by Better Up. You still have time to sign up for it. Hello, Mackenzie. Thank you so much for being here. Also, don't forget it is Women's History Month, so you still have plenty opportunity to educate yourself and others about the contribution of women all over the world. Well, it's for the United States, but all over the world. Why not? But yeah, so educate yourself about the contributions of women. And oh, is this it? Nope, that's the third. I think it was the fourth by the time I remembered. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Okay, was it the second? Let me try the second. Yes, it was the second. That's what I was looking for, the slide that had these. So, Women's History Month, her story, Women's History Month is actually her story now. So, don't forget you guys, it's her story. Hello, Dorothy Ross. Okay. All right. So, let's continue, please. Kylie Minogue snubs King Charles concert invite due to rising Republican mood in her native Australia. We talked about this before, but I don't think I mentioned this. She was there in 2012 for the Queen's, was it Diamond Jubilee? Actually, you know what? I think I made a mistake. Is she in this photo? I don't think she is. Or is that Kylie Minogue? Either way, it's really interesting that in 2012, Kylie Minogue was available for the concert for the Queen at Buckingham Palace. However, since Charles, as I said, he's not really a sweet old lady, although he does have childbearing hips. He is kind of hippie for a guy, isn't he? Well, anyway, even though Charles has those childbearing hips, he certainly is not a woman. And in particular, he's not a sweet old lady. So, or what people perceive to be a sweet old lady. I mean, he didn't oversee something like the Mau Mau massacre, but anyway, he certainly didn't apologize for it either. And neither did the Queen, but I'm not going to go there. But I'm just saying, um, he doesn't have the same gravitas as Queen Elizabeth, and people managed to overlook any deficits of the royal family while the Queen was in power. But Charles won't get the same consideration. So, Kylie Minogue, I did not realize the other day, or was it yesterday, when I mentioned her, that she had actually performed in one of those concerts before. But as she said, because of the Republican sentiment or movement that is occurring in Australia, her native Australia, she just doesn't want to have anything to do with Charles and his coronation. Very wise on her part. She's joining the ranks of many who would don't want to have anything to do with it, and rightly so. And then, of course, Dr. Shola. Do you? Let's see. I do expect Harry and Meghan to attend King Charles' coronation. They have a level of maturity Charles and William are surely sorely lacking. I like how they consistently rise above the pettiness, envy, and self-destruction royal family embodies. It's just one day they've survived worse. Okay. And so that's Dr. Shola's feelings about it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but Dr. Shola is being a realist about it in that she suspects that they will show up for the coronation. It is just one day. Um, Call me naive, but I'm not really concerned about security at that particular occasion. Um, but I expect a lot of the frigid personalities that were around during the Queen's mourning period, those same people are going to be available at the coronation. So, for that reason, I'm leaning toward don't go. But they're adults, they know what's best for them. They will decide this as a family. And so that is yeah, that is just the way it is. So I would say, you know, Dr. Shola has her opinion about it. Individually, we all have our opinions about it. And whatever's going to happen, one thing I'm sure is consistent is that we will all be here to support them, whatever they choose to do. Oh, thank you, Trooper Dilly. Let me see. Oh, Baron, your voice sounds very clear this evening, crisp and clear. Well, I'm using the new computer. Yes, I'm using a new computer. I'm still working out some things with it, but thank you very much for that. Or as Elvis Presley would say, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, oh, thank you very much. Oh, man. Okay. Angela M64 says, heck no, they should not go. I understand. I understand. If the past like 48 hours has been any indication of what we can expect in the very near future, um, yeah, it was like such a drag the past couple of days, but I think I'm over the worst of it. Lily Lamore says, I say they shouldn't go and to cut all ties with that family. I'm tired of how poorly they're treated, and I hope they are too. Yeah. Um, that's a tough one for me. That's a tough one for me because, on the one hand, you have security. And on the other hand, there is Harry's birthright. And because I am so anti bully, I hate the idea of allowing someone to force you out of your birthright. I mean, he has literally been kicked out of his nation of birth because of his petulant, childish brother and his inept, ridiculous, and indecisive father. Between the two of them, um, I mean, just imagine that you go to the Sandringham Summit, right? They want to make sure that you're isolated and away from your wife so that they can make the big sales pitch of don't go back, just stay here. We'll send some money to take care of the kids or whatever. I'm pretty sure that they tried to trap Harry into staying, and that is probably why they were so terrified of that Oprah interview because there's so much more that Harry could say. But um, he didn't, and perhaps in the future he will. I believe that there's massive negotiation going on, even as we speak, about what they will and will not do where the coronation is concerned. But let us remember that the day of the queen died, the day the queen died, they were the focus of attention instead of the new king upon the queen's death, instead of the new king, they were fixated on Harry and Meghan. Oh, I believe that's the plane carrying the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I will never forget that. As long as I live, I will never forget the way they were all fixated on this idea that Harry and Meghan are on that plane that just arrived in Scotland. So just goes to show, uh, never underestimate how relevant and important the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are. Joy Amore, thank you so much for the super sticker. Oh my goodness, I just looked to my side so I could ring the bell and it's not there. But thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Monday to you. All right, thank you very much. And let's see here. Dorothy Ross says, my feeling is that Charlie has invited Harry and Meghan to save face, which makes him look good with, uh, what is that? A God idea, good idea, that they will not go. Oh, okay, with a good idea. Okay. And we will just have to wait and see. Uh, what can Harry and Meghan do to make trouble? I'm actually well, okay, I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but it's it's his coronation. Why is he obsessed with Harry and Meghan for his big day? I mean, it just goes to show how weak he is as an individual that his coronation can actually be overshadowed by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. That is his coronation. How are you allowing your mind to believe that you will be overshadowed on your big day? I mean, everybody, and I do mean everybody, will secretly wonder whether or not the anointing oil is going to turn them into a ball of flames, whether or not the anointing oil will shock the demonic spirits out of their bodies. That's what we're all waiting for. So I just, I think it really shows um, a lack of self confidence that he believes that if he doesn't invite them, that they are going to overshadow him from Montecito, California, where there are no leaks, by the way. That he believes that he's going to be overshadowed by the Sussexes, who most likely are going to have a quiet, discreet birthday party for Prince Archie. Make that make sense. And then who knows? Who knows? There may be some negotiation going on with the Sussexes where their children are concerned. That is a possibility because there's a lot to consider other than just security and where you're going to stay. I mean, this is about the birthright of the Sussex children. And even though they have money, they have power, they have a position with or without their royal titles, there's still a lot to consider. And I'm going to leave that just like that because I don't even want to go any further into that. But there is a lot to consider other than security and accommodations. So I will leave that to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to work out. And I hope that everything works out the way they hope it will. Either way, I'm going to be, you know, I got their back. So that's how I feel about it. Cookies and Cream says, I truly hope that the Sussexes do not go to that sham show. I'm so over the ungodly family with their lies, smears, leaks. They can't be trusted. I hope Harry never I'm sorry, severs all ties with those racist beings. Thank you so much, Cookies and Cream. Um, yeah, thank you. I understand. I understand. It's a lot. It is a lot to consider, and hmm, I'm trying to be balanced, and the only balance that I'm trying to strike is whatever Harry and Meghan wants. That's it. But at the same time, I would be lying to myself if I didn't say I wasn't concerned about their mental health and well-being. Their physical health, I'm not worried about that. I think they'll be just fine at the coronation. But mentally, what is it going to do to them? How will they be received by the rest of the family? How will they be perceived by the public? All of that comes to mind. Uh-oh, I'm afraid, but let's do it anyway. Not me. There comes a time when getting used and abused is not okay. So let me say, okay, doing. People will say, What did the Sussexes expect? They should have known better. That's true, Church Nelly. That is true. That is what they have been using against Meghan for the past, well, almost since the beginning, right? She should have known better. What did she expect? We just had that weirdo comedian say the same thing the weekend. She should have known better. What did she expect? So, yeah, you got a point, Church. You have a very good point. Elaine Parker, there I go reaching for my bell. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member as well as watching Royal Sussex. I would love to see Dr. Shola just step to the royal family, just how she is in that photo right there. I would love for her to step to them like that. That would be so cool, wouldn't it? Okay, let me go on to the next thing. Oh, Lydia Washington says, Happy birthday to Lottie. Lottie, happy birthday to you, and many happy returns of the day. Let's see if I can cue it up. I hope I have it here. Let me see if I can do it. Uh oh. All right, that doesn't look good. Let me see here. Let me see. I hope it's here. Hello, Ivy here. Um, Bye for now. Bye, Ivy. Ivy out. Oh no, I don't have Ivy here. See, I'm on my new PC and it's a lot of things I don't have here. Oh man. Okay, sorry about that. Wow, I can't believe I don't have that one. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. Well, let's do this one then. Let's do this one. All right. All right. Happy birthday, Lottie. And thank you for spending your birthday with us. And thank you so much, Lydia, for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Okay. Let me see here. Mackenzie is saying happy birthday. Okay. Pretty cool. A lot of happy birthdays here. Uh, let me see. Oh, okay. That's not for me. Is Rohini here? I haven't seen Rohini in a minute. Oh, Jael says, I'm afraid that something happens to Harry and they will put that on the Taliban as I already, someone already is. Oh, yeah, I saw that on Jeremy Vine's show. There was a woman on Jeremy Vine that said something to that effect. I don't recall exactly what she said, but she spoke about the idea that something would happen. And the only thing is that very rude woman that was on the Jeremy Vine, she actually said that she didn't really care about Harry and Meghan, but that she was concerned about the public, that some other person, a member of the public, would get hurt while somebody goes after Harry and Meghan. And it was a very, I mean, it was like what I couldn't understand is why Jeremy Vine would allow that type of rhetoric on his show. It's one thing, okay, I get some people just don't like Harry and Meghan, but to allow somebody with that type of rhetoric a platform on his show, that was very irresponsible. And of course, he did very little to correct that person or to call out that person. So a little as in nothing at all. Thank you so much for your comment. Kathy Gabby says, parents, once their decision is made, one way or the other, and published, we will then see how well the UK tabloid media and royal family managed their hounds. Negotiations are absolutely going on. That's what I believe, that they're negotiating like crazy behind the scenes right now. Let me see. Baron, that's why I think while Charles gets the holy oil, Camilla will get canola oil. Oh man. Um, well, thank you for that. I don't have anything to follow that up with. Let me see. Let's see. Lottie says the haters, by the way, happy birthday. The haters were expecting Fergie to say something bad about Harry and Meghan, but she didn't see. Um, I'm sorry, but they. I'm sorry, but she didn't give them. But she did give them their flowers. Is that what you're saying? And I was impressed. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Lottie. I didn't see or hear what the comment from Fergie was, but I'm glad that common sense prevailed at the last moment and she didn't say something ridiculous. Let me see here. Okay. So, oh, why am I on a blank screen? Okay, let me go on. Let me go on. Oh, there we go. Trigger alert, trigger alert. Okay. So, there have been some critics who have said that um, that Chris Rock was not in his best form. I wouldn't know good or bad because I don't really know what he's capable of as a comedian. I only know bits and pieces about his show. I don't know if I've ever actually seen a complete stand-up concert of his. The only time that I've ever seen one was this weekend, and that was, mostly because he mentioned Harry and Meghan. If he hadn't mentioned Meghan, then I probably wouldn't have watched. Um, hmm. Okay. And then of course there's been even a few squatties, I think, who have said that Chris Rock also took the royal family to task. But I just want to say that for the haters, they are going to be satisfied with the idea that he has accused the Duchess of being clueless or shallow, or she should have known better. Didn't she Google them? And even though he called them racist and that they invented slavery and colonization, I still don't think it's enough to push the needle to the point where it will register with people that it wasn't really about Meghan, but that it was about the royal family. I think it certainly was about Meghan. Um, and I guess I would say that number one, if I just break it down to three different things. Number one, he has a problem with black women. Number two, he did like so many other people. He hitched his wagon to the Sussex train for the sake of clicks and or engagement or to I guess get more attention, not just some attention, but even more attention. And number three, otherwise, he just comes across as a very angry person. It was there was nothing clever about his humor. Um, it wasn't as well structured, I think, but he just came across as an angry person. And so, and I even think too that his show caters to the right. His show caters to the MAGA people because increasingly, just like with oh guys, what's the guy's name on HBO? Bill Maher. Just like with Bill Maher, increasingly, so many comedians are actually playing to the right wing. They are playing to the conservatives. They see money with the conservatives. It's as though he opened up a newspaper or whatever he uses, and he saw the talking points from the right wing, the anti woke, everybody's a victim. It seems as though he's using those talking points. And because we're in a cultural war right now, because there's a war on the left wing, because the younger voters tend to vote more liberal, there is a war on liberal voters. And the only way that you can stop that to prevent people from pushing to the left is to create anger and outrage. I mean, that's how you get a Brexit. That's how you get a Trump, is that you make sure people are angry and reactive. And it just seems like he's tapped into that, unfortunately. He's tapped into that. And that is what the future of his comedy is going to be, playing to the right wing. So I think that's the reason why he went there with Meghan, is because he's playing to the right wing. So Black Queen says, then he's going to make fun of the brutality of slavery. Some things you just don't joke about. Very true, Black Queen. Very, very true. Marshall says, could we not get riled up about Chris Rock again? It is what it is, and it is a smoke screen diversion that the Derangers want the squad to focus on. Uh, well, Marshall, if he hadn't mentioned Megan, I wouldn't have brought him up. If he hadn't mentioned Megan, I wouldn't have felt as bad as I did the weekend. So that is what we're here for, is to defend Megan. With this is the Royal Sussex channel. That's what it's about. So um it is, like you say, it is what it is. And right now he's riding on a crest of success because he went after Megan. He took the cheap shot. He went after Megan. Lucy Wynn says Chris Rock needs to keep his opinion of black women to himself. He makes me sick. Buck dancing, cool train riding, Mr. Ed talking fool. Lorna Williams says, yes, Chris Rock, the idiot that screwed up an 18-year marriage, got taken to the cleaners in the divorce and will be eventually appearing back in alley comedy clubs when Netflix money is gone. Wow. Oh, man. Jacqueline Squash, the official chaplain of Royal Sussex, says, but we know Royal Duchess of Sussex. Let me see here. We are not, what is that, studying? Yeah, we're not studying Chris Rock, but being God's people, we are going to continue to pray for those who say all manner of evil against our faves, Megan. And I'm Harry and Megan. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. I appreciate that. Okay. Myra V says, Baron, maybe Megan wants to pay forward the favor of Charles walking her to the altar. Well, Megan has a good heart, and for that reason, I hope that she doesn't ever watch Royal Sussex because I wouldn't want her to. I would not want her to ever be associated with anything that I've ever said, even in defense of her. Um, but yeah, I mean, when somebody does you a good turn, one way or the other, if somebody does you a good turn, just because that person has issues, I'll just be polite and say issues. Um, Not everybody completely turns their back. Shirley Kearney says, Baron, I am a firm believer that when people have a sense of thinking that they can get away with foolishness to say and do anything to people and think that it won't happen to them. Yeah, well, I mean, let's look at Trump. Has he ever paid a price for being Trump? Has he ever truly been held accountable for all the people that he's hurt over the years? Let's see. Rebel Wilson and Rock have now had their 15 minutes of fame. How successful he is to be seen. Thank you very much. Cookies and Cream says we need to fight back. The racist press intentionally left out the part about the Unroyal family's racism. Why not use the clip of Chris Rock calling out the Unroyals and try to change the narrative? Cookies and Cream, that is okay. Listen, I'm always paying attention to words. I'm always dissecting. That's why I love what is the channel? Bolin. Um, anyway, because that's what she does. She definitely dissects the conversation, the words. And because of that, when I see something like a Chris Rock, the tabloid media is going to pick and choose the parts that makes the intended target look bad. And that's what makes me feel helpless is because I already know how that's going to play out. They're going to say the ugly bits to hurt Megan, and they will exclude all of the rest of what is said. Just like when the thing happened with the South Park, they focused on everything to disparage the Sussexes and omitted, most of what has happened in the past. Now, to be fair, there was that one article out of about 30, if not more than that, one article out of maybe 30 or 40 articles focused with the South Park where they mentioned how they have done that in the past. But still, they ignored the part where the queen is all carried in like a jigsaw in the coffin. They didn't mention that. Um, all of the stuff with the queen, they just skipped over that. They spoke about it in the past, but they didn't bring it up this time around. At least I didn't notice it. So it's not so much. Well, okay, it is. That's exactly what it is. Because they are, what people are left with. They're left with the headline, the big talking point, and then all of the other details is just lost in translation. They won't know, most of them won't remember that what Rebel Wilson said started with her mother. The beginning and the end was I met Meghan, I met Harry, he was super nice, she was not. That is what most people are going to take away from that. No, most people won't remember anything about her mother. And that's what left me a bit frustrated the weekend is because that is the way it plays out. That is the tool that they use. They use that as a weapon to hurt the Sussexes. So, okay, let me see here. And so, this is the other thing I wanted to share with you. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before, but this is a. Let me see. Who else was there? Uh, Jerry Seinfeld and Ricky Gervais and Chris Rock allowed this man to use the N word in conversation with them and even joked about how okay it was for him to use the N word, um, which made me very uncomfortable. I don't really care for anybody to use the word. I mean, of course, with comedians, I kind of have made my peace with that, but I don't endorse perpetuating the word. And least of all, it shows a bit of disrespect on Chris Rock's part. This is the person who ends his show speaking about how Black people should be, how we should be perceived around white people, how we shouldn't fight in front of white people. And yet, he's sitting there with a white man endorsing the idea that it's okay for him to use the N word. And by the way, thank you, Sussex Squad Detective Agency, for reminding us about the fact that he was okay with using the N word or allowing someone else or giving them license to use it in his company. That wasn't cool. Um, yeah, Black Queen, like I say, I never really cared for him that much in the first place. Um, I respect anybody's work. I respect anybody's talent, but it doesn't mean that I like them as a person, that I'm comfortable with everything about them. And as anybody to tell you, who would love Aretha Franklin more than me? I don't know. I haven't met that person, but I was afraid to meet Aretha Franklin because I thought she would be mean. I never did meet her, but I would be afraid to because, I, I wouldn't want to be disappointed by her. So, personality wise, I wasn't always so, taken with her. But talent wise, she was the queen. She was the undisputed queen of soul, period. So, and the greatest voice of all time according to Rolling Stone magazine. So there you have it. But in terms of actually meeting her, I'd have been terrified. Not that I would be intimidated by her, but I'd be afraid that I wouldn't like her or that she would be, she would be Aretha on me and I'd be afraid of that. So, um, I don't like every talented person that I follow and admire for their talent. And he's just a jerk. He's just a jerk. And this has been brewing for a while. This has been brewing for a while. Let me see. A majority of comedians routinely bash women as part of their act, not just Chris Rock. As I have gotten older, what used to be funny isn't funny anymore. Thank you, Educate You Too. That's exactly what you're doing right now. There is a great deal of misogyny within comedy. Exactly. And the thing is, okay, so people say that we are too sensitive now and that this is a cancel culture. And the reason why I think a lot of people are more guarded about what is and is not so funny is because we know that the words can become action more so now than ever before. I don't know why, but it seems like now more so than in the past, people can make those words actionable and not just do a verbal assault to a person, but physically assault people or attract that type of physical assault to the person that they're making fun of. And with that, it's not as funny to me now. And so with misogyny, it seems like perpetrators, I'll just say perpetrators or perverts, seem to have gotten younger and seem to have become more methodical than ever before. So to use misogynistic humor nowadays, using that type of humor, it's like it carries more weight. The hurt can go that much further than it would have in the past. Um, and maybe that's because of social media. Maybe that's because of the amount of information that's out there. And let's not forget too that a lot of these young people, their idea of intimacy has been learned from, I don't want to use the word, but dirty movies. That is where their idea of intimacy has been learned, not from seeing their father respect their mother, but from hearing comedians and people like the guy in Romania that's in jail right now, hearing that type of language, and you connect that to the video games and the music, and it's like we are creating sociopaths. That's why it's not as funny as it used to be, because it's not the one thing by itself. I think if you combined all those things, there's a lot of disturbed young men walking around out here with some very bizarre ideas about how to treat women. And I'm not blaming anybody in particular, not even Chris Rock. I'm not blaming him as the individual, but I'm saying as a society and as those industries that are involved are concerned, it is part of a much larger narrative, and it is potentially dangerous. So yeah, a lot of stuff just ain't funny like it used to be. And as I get older, I feel the exact same way. It's just not as funny as it used to be. Let me see. I hope Meghan and Harry do not go to the coronation. They have children to think about. There are death threats out there. Raising my children is more important than coronation. Let's see. Phlebotomy staffing solution. Phlebotomy staffing solution? Is that right? Phlebotomy. Yeah. Okay. Is that a real thing? I'm sorry to laugh, but is that real? That job sounds like a real headache. Phlebotomy staffing solution. That sounds like a real headache. Oh, Karen says, congrats, Anastasia, on safe delivery of your baby princess. Hope you both well. Is Anastasia here? That would be really cool. Um, yes, yes, 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Congratulations. I don't have my bell, but congratulations. Wow. So that was the first having someone in labor on Royal Sussex. Oh man. Let's see. Lottie says he got slapped in front of white people. Yeah. Lottie, you ain't playing today. You are not playing today. Okay, let me move on. So let's just close out with Chris Rock with this comment right here from Christopher Bowsey. He says, Vanity Fair 1998. It all makes sense now. There you go. It all makes sense now. Oh man. Oh, thank you so much for the super. Actually, what am I saying? For the Cash App, K. I'll just use the first letter K. But thank you so much, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Monday to you. So yeah, leave it to Chris Bosey. He said what a lot of people are thinking makes a lot of sense now. So with that, I'm going to leave it. And I hope that I'm gonna well anyway. I hope that this is the last of it. I suspect he said everything that he needed to say, and I hope that that's the end of it. I want it to be the end of it, and the sooner this goes away, the better. I don't suspect that the tabloids are going to get as much traction out of this as they have with the South Park. But I tell you, South Park, The Rebel Without a Clue, and this um, back to back is just a lot to take in. And speaking of Rebel Without a Clue, I saw this photo and I couldn't believe it was the same dress. But then I saw another photo. Well, actually, it wasn't this photo, but this is the second time I've seen that photo. I said, okay, so she likes to wear red. I don't really see it. Well, then I saw a better angle of the dress. And even though it doesn't hang the same way, I'm starting to wonder, does she have some issues with Meghan? I mean, I know she's a cheap comic, right? I know that she has a mouth on her. I know that she said some things in the past. But is this like an obsession? Is this like what is that? What was that movie, Single White Female? Is this some kind of obsession? Did she go out of her way to go and meet um Harry and Meghan for any particular reason? I mean, what was the what is going on with that? Isn't it strange? I mean, she had to know that Meghan had wore that dress before. And she had to go out of her way to find that dress to wear. Weird, huh? So I'm just saying, I think it's a little weird, a little strange. And then she said we went to Santa Barbara to meet a mutual friend. Yeah, and then what? So, yeah, I'm starting to think a little differently. I'm starting to think that it's not just someone that is strange. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. Is I think it's a bit strange. Pure jealousy. It must be something. I think there's like a little obsession and jealousy. I was just like, okay, I see she's wearing red, so what? And then I saw a different angle. I'm like, that's the same dress. When I saw this other photo, I started hearing the theme song to the Twilight Zone. Now, once you start hearing the Twilight Zone, then is fight or flight. When you start hearing the Twilight Zone, that is when it made my hair stand up on my back of my neck. I'm just like, yeah, she got a little problem or something. Looks like somebody is obsessed. This is like Desperately Seeking Susan. Remember that movie with Madonna, Desperately Seeking Susan, where she had like a crush? And by the way, speaking of does she have a crush, isn't she kind of like open about certain things? Did I read that somewhere? Like she's kind of open about that. Didn't she say she was fluid? I thought I saw something about her being fluid. Seriously, I'm not making a joke there. I thought I saw something about her being fluid. So if that is the case, it's that much weirder than I thought. So, but I'll say this: if I was Megan and I ran into her again, all I got to say, Megan, run, run, cause she cray cray. I think she's kind of cray cray. Yeah, she ain't wrapped too tight. When I saw that, I was just like, uh-uh, uh-uh, no, mm-mm. Okay. Oh, Rohini says, I feel since Rebel lost weight, she's being nasty girl. Go eat some cookies. Okay. She was so much nicer when she could have some rib tips, you know. But now that she stopped eating, yeah, if she just had a good sandwich, I think that would probably calm her down a bit. All she needs is a good sandwich, a good hamburger, or what is that they used to say on those Australian tourist commercials? Put another shrimp on the bobby. Yeah, why don't you put another shrimp on the bobby? Or what was that other movie? Perhaps the dingo ate your baby. Well, maybe is perhaps the dingo took your food. I could just hear her doing like that what was that? Was it Seinfeld? Has anyone seen my sandwich? I'm hungry. Has anybody seen perhaps the dingo ate your sandwich? Has anyone seen my has anyone seen my protein bar? Perhaps the dingo ate your protein bar. Yeah, she was nicer when she was fat. I mean, I don't want to wish fat on anybody, but she was nicer when she was fat. Yeah. Like they say, fat people are jolly. And she was jolly. Now she's just mean. Perhaps the dingo ate your baby. Okay. Oh, wait. I just went past it there. Oh, how do I keep doing that? All right. For the past 40 years, Terrence Higgins Trust has made revolutionizing the fight against HIV and AIDS. What began as honoring the loss of a loved one has evolved into the UK's leading HIV and sexual health charity that provides essential education, funding, and service to thousands living with HIV. I've been involved with Terrence Higgins Trust for a number of years, and the fight to end this epidemic is a big piece of my mom's legacy. Like many, my mother grew up in a world where AIDS was likely a death sentence. Yet, in the midst of all of the uncertainty, she led with empathy, finding the humanity in all around her and demonstrating the power of connection in the face of fear. While my mother did not live to see the success of today's treatments, I feel immense pride in being able to continue her advocacy with you. As Terrence Higgins Trust has evolved over the years, their goal has remained the same in new transmission. Terrence Higgins Trust has pledged to make England the first country to end new HIV cases by 2030. But they need all of us to do our part by encouraging testing so we all know our status, eradicating stigma that thrives on silence and donating the resources Terrence Higgins Trust needs to keep up their efforts at pace. That is, though the last 40 years have shown significant progress, we cannot slow down now. We must finish the job. My biggest heartfelt congratulations on the historic milestone. May the next one we celebrate signal the end of the HIV/AIDS epidemic for all. Thank you, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. So that was a letter that the Duke put out today. And as you can see, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has released a message in honor of 40 years of Terrence Higgins Trust. The message appears in the catalog for our flagship fundraising event, the Action at Christie's, which takes place this evening. So there you go. Anyway, you guys, I just posted a link for Claire Kane, who is with us today. Claire has a Sussex friendly channel. And you guys, I have a bit of a mission of my own. My mission is to make sure that we promote all of the Sussex friendly channels. I do believe that one of the ways that we can combat this hate campaign is to grow this community. And by doing so, there will be alternative information out there because I recall that a few people actually said, and these were just a few that I've seen, but a few people have actually said that when the Sussexes were over there doing the Queen's funeral and the whole mourning period, that there was so much like bad stuff out there about the Sussexes that they were looking for friendly voices. And so the community has grown. So one of those friendly voices, Claire Kane. The algorithm needs our engagement. They need us for us to like, to share, and most importantly, subscribe. And so if you're not subscribed, you can go over there and do it right now. And that way, every time Claire Kane posts something new, it'll come up on your feed. And don't be afraid to share these channels. Don't be afraid to share these channels. It's necessary. I have some friends, excuse me, that are not squatties, but they get stuff on their phone all the time from different news organizations that, of course, are not likely to have anything good or nice to say about the Sussexes. How about if we help ensure that at least a few of those updates that come to their devices will actually be somebody or someplace that is Sussex friendly. So that is the point, is to make sure that we drive the engagement so that there will be friendly voices out there instead of voices of contempt and hatred and moral turpitude. I don't even know what that means, but you know what I'm trying to say, that there will be more Sussex friendly channels available. So please do that. Okay, let me see here. When is King Charles III's coronation? The time, the date, and the place. Question and answer on Royal Bank Holiday weekend, as it reveals Harry and Meghan have been invited to the event at Westminster Abbey. Buckingham Palace announced further details on the event that will take place over the coronation weekend. Here is everything you need to know. Who cares? Next. um, who cares? All right. So I love her. Her name is Roxane Gay. If you guys remember, she had an article called When Harry Met Meghan. And the Derangers and the what do you call it? The Royal Rota, they had a fit. They had a fit because she called out the royal family. And I don't know, for some, they have this odd thing about everybody, I guess, checking for the royal family like everybody's in love with them. And they seem to be so disappointed when they find out otherwise. So I'm sorry, I'm moving my computer around. I hope it's not making too much noise. Let me put something up under it. There we go. I think that's better. Let me see. So, as you can see, Pierce Morgan got really pissed off. My God, New York Times publishes a shameful trashing of Britain and our royal family, including demands for the monarchy to be dismantled. Um, you see, you see Roxanne's picture. Does she look like she care that you're bothered by the fact she said what she said? Dismantle is MF. So this is what the Sussexes have done with all their lies, made the world view us as a bunch of callous racists. Duh, if the shoe fit. When Prince Harry met and married the American actress Meghan Markle, we saw in real time just how high a price the crown is willing to extract from an outsider, up to and including her life, Roxanne Gay writes, New York Times. So you can look for that article if you like. You have to be a subscriber, but you can look for that article if you like. I mean, she went there. She said what she said. Now, her old profile picture that she had in the New York Times is the one in the upper right corner. But the bottom photo, that is the one that they use today. Roxanne Gay don't care. She is not playing with y'all, okay? She said what she said. Now, what do y'all expect? She said what she said. And she's not one to be toyed with. So, the New York Times, I think they like to be provocative, and they have been a constant target of the British tabloid media because the New York Times, I love New York Times. I am a subscriber. They don't call it the old gray lady for no reason. And if there's one thing about old people, they don't care. Old people are mean. So old newspapers are mean. And especially if they're not an old British newspaper, not only are they mean, but they don't care. And that's where Roxanne comes in. I love her. Anyway, so you can see her latest tweet. I thought about her today because the tweet up there at the top says, "Them Royals play dirty, dirty game. Harry and Meghan will, what is that? Obviously be more than fine. But damn, they keep proving why Harry left and making his point for him. Quite a strategy." I saw that on Twitter today. I thought I was going to scream, but I love her. She said what needs to be said, and she don't care, and that's why I am crazy about her. Let me see here. Let me make sure of something. Let me see. Sorry about that. Oh, there it is. Uh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was still following her, and I am. Thank you very much. Ooh, I like that photo. I think I'm going to save that one. Okay. Wait, sorry about that. Let me. And I will put that there. All right, got it. Got it. Okay. Let me see. Please knight Pierce Morgan so he could shut up already. Is that what he's doing? He's trying to get a knighthood. I thought that was David Beckham that's after the knighthood. I guess Pierce Morgan would be after one too. Okay, so I'm going to move on. And then right here, Harry admits he enjoys being vulnerable. That, oh my goodness. Oh man, I'm sorry. I got to go back over there because I got a sound bite to play. Just when I had got comfortable. Oh Lord. All right. See, now that I'm using a new computer, I can take it with me. It would have been hard to snatch that desktop and get in the bed, but I can take this one and crawl up in the bed with it. Okay, so Harry admits he enjoys being vulnerable. That is, helps others. Think I heard enough now. Okay, so this one is kind of tough for me because I really like Tessa Dunlap, but Tessa Dunlap went there. And of course, the Sussex squad had something to say about it. And I'll share that with you. Again, I really like Tessa Dunlap, but she went there. So this was posted on the 4th of March, and the backlash was severe. So Tessa went on to say, it was long. I'm not so big on therapy speak. And we know, I mean, we now, I'm sorry, are we now in a space where we have to say everything? Harry does it perfect. He is human. Okay. And then she says, it was long. I'm not so big. Oh, wait a minute. Did I do that twice? Oh, I'm sorry. I did that twice, didn't I? And then the next one says, I generally support Harry or try to understand him, but it's Saturday evening here, and I thought the event was an hour long. Then she says, um, it's not meant to be funny. It just went on a bit if you're not majorly into therapy speak, but apparently I'm not allowed to say that. So the reason why she's putting it like that is because they were putting her on blast about this. Now, I don't have the comments that go along with these responses, but let me tell you, people were just like, and by the way, Dr. Tessa Dunlap, she is a historian, and she claims that she doesn't take us. Well, actually, you know what? Let me get to the sound bite. Let me get to the sound bite. But right here, this is one of the responses. She said, "You're part of the problem. How do you think it contributes to efforts to what is that deep pathology, deep psychopathology, deep? Well, anyway, if you're mocking it." And I think what she's saying is take the stigma out of psychology if you're mocking it. He's giving you more access, openness, and honesty than you will ever get from a UK royal. And then is it so? Let's anyway. This particular squatty says vulnerability is a state of emotional exposure that comes with a certain degree of uncertainty. It involves a person's willingness to accept the emotional risk that comes from being open and willing to love and to be loved. So that is the message she gave to Tessa Dunlap. All right, so let me get that sound bite for you guys. Let me get that sound bite, and you can hear Tessa. And this is something else that they added. Why vulnerability is important: greater strength, stronger relationships, improve self acceptance. By the way, I agree with everything that's there. So that squatty listed this plus this. So I'm just sharing with you at least one of the responses. and then I'll let you hear Dr. Tessa Dunlap say what she had to say in her own words. Let me grab that for you. Oh gosh, I hope I can make this work. Uh, okay. I got this. I got this. This is gonna work. This is going to work. Uh, uh-oh. Wait a minute. Maybe it's not. Let me see. Let me see. Uh,
State event. I watched also that 1.5 hours. It was quite long. A sort of uber extended therapy session. I thought that actually.
Okay, wait. That's not the one.
It's
Okay, here it is. This is her response. This is what she said after everybody put her on blast.
To clarify, I'm not on any side. I am not a Sussex squaddy. That, by the way, is a fan or friend of Harry and Meghan, nor am I on the royal family's side. I am a historian who somehow got implicated in talking about the Windsors and the run-up to the coronation. I'm also a little short of sleep. I think we need to step right back. Why? And by the way, I didn't sleep last night, so I had a lot of time to think about why are we still in the grip of this, not just national psychodrama, actually global one that crosses the Atlantic. What is it about Harry and Meghan, about the institution of monarchy? My main objection is when the press over-egg the pudding or overstate the case. Yeah, be broad-shouldered, like the monarchy also needs to be.
Even though they've been incredibly rude about Camilla, about the Queen Consort.
Do you know,
really rude about it.
I don't think they've been incredibly rude. I think that's stoking it, Richard. I think that's what the media tends to do. If you read the memoir, yeah, he has issues with his stepmother. Likewise, his brother.
Okay, so I know that was a little bit confusing, but let me explain. So part of the response is the TikTok video. And then she mixed in 2 bits of her Good Morning Britain. So that's why it sounded a little different. So she's using the excuse that she was a little tired. She's not apologizing. She's not taking back what she said. But when some people in the squad saw this comment that she posted on the 4th of March, then she tried to explain herself here. I generally support Harry and try to understand him, but it's Saturday evening here and I thought the event was an hour. And then she goes on to say, it's not meant to be funny. It's just went on a bit if you're not majorly into therapy speak, but apparently I'm not allowed to say that. Well, the thing is, if you're not into therapy speak, why did you tune in the first place? If you're not into therapy speak, why did you go and watch Harry have a therapeutic session with Dr. Matee? That is what the point of it was that it was a therapeutic session. So if you're not into therapy, why were you there? Why were you there? And because it went on, and I'm glad it did because I told you guys I tuned in late. So I'm glad that it did go over. It could and it did go over. I'm glad it was because when I heard an hour, I'm just like, that's not much time. So, okay. Now, then let me do this one for you. This is the entirety of what she spoke about on Good Morning. Well, not the entirety, but just this is like a full thing of what she spoke about on Good Morning Britain. So before I play this, let me just say this much. Thank you, Moshani. I like Dr. Tessa. I think that I think this right here was a bit cheeky and sarcastic. I still like her. I'm not going to completely condemn her for this comment because, for the most part, she has been very supportive of the Sussexes. But as she said, I'm not a squatty. I'm not part of the Sussex squad. She sees things the way she sees it. She says stuff the way she says it. So, okay, Fine. I would still rather have her input on Good Morning Britain than not have her input, if you understand what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that we have to like her. It doesn't mean we have to agree with her all the time. But okay, I'll let you hear what she had to say on Good Morning Britain. Okay, let me do that. I hope you guys can hear this okay because I'm doing things a little differently today.
It's a domestic spectacle enveloped in the state institution, the state event. I watched also that 1.5 hours, it was quite long, a sort of, uber extended therapy session. I thought that actually Harry didn't throw any big grenades at his family on this occasion. I think we need to step right back. Why? And by the way, I didn't sleep last night, so I had a lot of time to think about why are we still in the grip of this, not just national psychodrama, actually global one that crosses the Atlantic. What is it about Harry and Meghan, about the institution of monarchy? And actually peel it back. Virginia Woolf in the early 20th century said of the royal family, because we were like this then, she said, our insatiable appetite for them and what they do is because they live and we live in them. Harry and Meghan, she's not Greta Garbo. He's not Alexander the Great. No. They're actually weirdly quite ordinary in this extraordinary position. Yeah. And what they've done is they've behaved like rebellious teenagers. They're pushing not only against daddy, but also against their school. And now what we're asking them to do is, we hear you. You did it in a slightly clumsy way. You're right. There are fault lines there that need examined, but come back and go to the end of term ceremony. Climb out of the bedroom and do it for you and for them. Yeah. Be broad-shouldered, like the monarchy also needs to be.
Even though they've been incredibly rude about Camilla, about the Queen Consort.
Do you know,
really rude about it.
I don't think they've been incredibly rude. I think that's stoking it, Richard. I think that's what the media tends to do. If you read the memoir, yeah, he has issues with his stepmother, likewise his brother. But most people who have brothers over 40 note that they're balding and have had a fisticuffs with them. Most people with a stepmother have a few issues. The problem is when your family is also an institution, and Harry has likewise suffered for that, the style of parenting. His grandmother unable to hug him because she was actually first and foremost the institution before being the grandmother.
Okay, so sorry, I don't agree. If they have got all of these issues, they've not dealt with any of these issues. We've heard racism. We've heard that he doesn't feel like he belongs. We've heard that there's almost abusive relationship between him and William. All of these issues, why would you then want to come? I would look at them and say, well, was this all a money-making scheme and for attention? I thought you wanted privacy, and we know this is a monumental moment for King Charles, and it won't be about him. It's going to be about them.
No, actually, it's far more about them if they're not there. Let's just remember, they said they would honour the king. I got suspended several times from school. I still went to that end of term ceremony. I felt my authentic self didn't belong in the institution, but I respected a few of the teachers.
It's not your family, though. It's not your family.
The point is, he was born into this weird hybrid, which as a nation, we have this weird love-hate relationship with. So does Harry. Cut him some slack. Cut this.
Okay. So... by the way, thank you so much, Dorothy Ross, for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. All right, so let me go on to your comments. Let me see here. So Lavender says, Dr. Tessa is one of the better ones. Whether she'll admit it or not, she is, she's a Sussex. Okay. And Mackenzie says, these media talking heads not being able to sit for an hour explains a lot. What is that? Ignorantly, they write articles, books, and gives opinions of experts. I'm off of experts and cliff notes. Okay, Mackenzie, that's a good point. And Joy Morris says, Baron, I hear real good on your new computer. Oh, okay. I'm glad this is working out. Claire Kane says, the thing is, Tessa is all of these British commentators are the ones who go out of the way to stay tuned into everything Harry and Meghan does, then complains that they're sick of hearing about them. Okay, that's a good point, Claire Kane. That is a good point. And I think I do think if how do I want to put this? If you consider the totality of what we've seen in terms of her comments with that thing that kind of got her in trouble, where she said it, that she's tired of these therapy sessions, or she don't like therapy talk. um Maybe it is just that, and I think she was trying to say, by sharing that part of her comment, that I haven't had any sleep, that I haven't had any sleep. Okay, she's a human being, she hasn't had any sleep. And maybe that's why her comment was so sloppy and so reckless, is because she was rest broken and feeling very resentful. I don't think that that means that she has an end for the Sussexes, but that is her work, that's her job, and she's being paid very well to make these comments about the Sussexes, and they book her because she gives an alternative point of view. Now, the other woman that you heard was the woman in the purple, the one who was, it wasn't, what's her name there, the usual lady, but it was the one with the like violet top on. She was the one that was having the exchange with her on this little clip right here. So I still like her. I don't like her making that comment about Harry, especially while Harry's trying to, Harry, and this is what I believe. Harry had this therapeutic session. As he said, the book was an act of service. This therapeutic session, opening himself up and not even knowing what diagnosis Dr. Matee was going to have for him. Harry didn't know what Dr. Matee was going to say. And Dr. Matee is, what, 79 years old? He's going to say whatever is on his mind. That's how he has been. That's how he will be, whether it's Harry or not. This was not some contrived meeting. And Harry is like, okay, we're going to. There was nothing prearranged about this. They had one meeting before where they spoke about a few things. And then Dr. Matisse said, okay, I'm going to be honest with you, just like he told Harry. I don't like war. I was against that war. So this was a very honest exchange. Harry is trying to take the stigma out of mental health, out of asking for help. He wants to remove the stigma for anyone who's afraid to ask for help. And Dr. Tessa was very wrong for making a joke out of it, or being so snarky about it. I didn't like this comment, but I'm not going to completely condemn her because of it, because by and large, I think she has done more good than she's done harm. Let me see. Black Queen says, why can't they highlight all of the wonderful good things that Harry and Meghan have been doing for years? Why nitpick it at them and negate them? Disingenuous hypocrites. Good point. I was about to say Dr. Black Queen. Good point, Black Queen. Correction on firmer comments meant that they have done something to Harry to be this coward and keep talking this abuse. Is this therapy really helping? I know it's not meant, or is it not harm to others? But gee, okay. Let me see here. Let me see. I think so too, Lavender. That was a great question. Let me see. YM Joyce says it seems like she's at least an ally to really. I mean, I'm sorry, to reality of this whole situation. Even if she's not a squatty, that's important. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to completely condemn her for this particular thing. I've never actually followed her on her Twitter. So this was actually the first that I've seen in her Twitter. And the one time I look at her Twitter, and this is what I get out of it. So that is kind of uncomfortable because I like her. I like her. So I'm not going to condemn her for this one situation. Cynthia Ashton says, "Hi, Baron. Harry said in his speech at the UN that he was perfectly human. People who criticize Harry for being vulnerable has a serious mental problem. They are suffering from a God syndrome." Ooh, Cynthia Ashton, I like that. And Connie Barmer says, that was actually great. The lady defended Harry and Meghan, and that's what we care about. Exactly. I mean, we can't expect people to be unwaveringly perfect. We want them to care, we want them to be fair, and if possible, always be pro Sussex, but she has a job to do, and she's been a good ally, and I don't want to condemn her for the entire thing, but I'm going to tell you guys, if you go and find her comment on the Twitter, oh boy, they laid into her, and it wasn't rude. They didn't do any name calling and stuff like that, but they just called her out for not being more supportive. And that's why she said, look, I'm not a squatty. I'm a, what did she say? I'm a, uh, oh God, what did she say she was? A historian. So yeah, she's not a doctor of psychology. She has a doctorate in history, I suppose. And she has been very pro Sussex most days. Dara Etchell says, no, neither Harry or Meghan handle anything like they're teenagers. They replied like adults, and they are with facts, and that is what they hate and can't handle. That's true, Dara. I didn't really care for the analogy of teenagers. And and to your point, how many times have I said this? That I hate when they speak about Harry and Meghan like they're dealing with a couple of misbehaving children. They are nobody's children that misbehaved. They have parents or had, two parents. It seems like they're both down to one, either way you look at it. But they, both had two parents and they have grown up and become parents themselves. And so I hate when people treat them like a couple of kids that have misbehaved and that need to be chastised or punished for something. They're not children, they're adults and they know what they're doing. And so, yeah, that part of it, Dora, I hate when they talk about the Sussexes like they're a couple of misbehaving little brats. Okay, let me see. Supporters must stay focused on the reality of what the pair are experiencing at a job. It would be called mob attack by management. Ooh, boy. Okay, thank you so much, all for Sussex. Ann Fu says the Sussex family are no longer in that toxic royal family, so I don't see why they continue to poke their toxic noses at Harry and Meghan. Thank you, Ann Fu. Yes, they're out of that. They're not in that situation anymore. Antoinette Kennedy says Baron Harry didn't know that a-hole dissed his wife. Harry doesn't play when it comes to his wife. Yes, she's like a woman. Yeah. Oh, she does like. Okay, I thought I saw something fluid about her. Okay, I thought I saw something like that. Thank you, Lydia. Please hit the like button, you guys. And if you're not subscribed, please make sure you are subscribed to Royal Sussex. Royal Sussex, where all your dreams come true. Royal Sussex. Okay, let me see here. Cynthia says Harry is more clear headed than all of these people because he is in touch with his humanity. For decades, those people revered this institution as God. God, the creator, is the only omnipotent sovereign. Omnipotent sovereign. I bet you didn't think I was going to be able to say omnipotent, but I did say it. And and how dare you throw those big words at me like that? Uh, oh man, that was a close one, though, but I got it. Let me see here. Okay. And Venice, Charles says, I have a feeling Prince Harry haven't told the entire story about the royals. He believes they will try to him and his family. I'm feeling I don't trust them. Okay, thank you so much. And Mary H says, but I see, be careful about these people because I found if it's just Prince Harry, they doesn't go hard on him. But if it's Duchess Meghan, um, on there would be she is this kind. Okay, thank you. Let me see. But why negate a subject program as important as mental health because it went over time? There's too many negative stuff on everything this couple does. We can do without the flip floppers. Exactly, Black Queen, and that was pretty tacky of her to say. Well, it went over time. I mean, if the only thing I'm just like, and she tweeted that. It wasn't like she was on, well, she did say it on Good Morning Britain that it and maybe she just has a thing about psychiatry or psychotherapy, but at the same time, and you're right, by the way. But as you can see here, BBC presenter Tessa Dunlap discusses baby loss. Tessa Dunlap, the BBC co presenter, has discussed her experience of baby loss in the Mail on Sunday. Tessa revealed that at 4 months pregnant, after contracting suspecting listeria, um, she lost her baby son. Previously, she revealed that she also experienced an 11-week miscarriage and a Coptic pregnancy. Her latest baby was conceived through IVF. In this article, Tessa discussed the pain and experience of going through such losses, particularly at the age of 41. She hopes to break the silence and taboo around pregnancy loss and challenge some of the comments and thoughts that others have around the topic. And so one of the squatties shared this, and that's why I'm showing it to you. It is another situation where someone has had an opinion about Harry and Meghan speaking their truth, speaking about mental illness, speaking about their vulnerabilities, their hurts, their concerns. And yet, you can see when they wanted to share their stories with the world, they would be awfully hurt if somebody called them out for it. Now, this is very similar, but not as well worded. I mean, let's face it, Meghan is a great writer. But this is a very similar situation that Meghan spoke about in her op ed about the losses we share, if you recall that. And so, again, it is a bit of hypocrisy that Harry is sharing his feelings, demonstrating his vulnerabilities, and he seems to be punished for that. But if it was someone else, and I'm not saying Dr. Tessa wouldn't say something similar about someone else, but we're not talking about someone else. And as Black Queen said, when it comes to psychotherapy, psychology, mental health, and such, why are you taking that to task? Why are you questioning that? Why are you making an issue of that instead of just letting them express themselves? Why does it have to be a thing because it's Harry and Meghan? And that's what the problem is that I always feel that if it was just anyone else having these discussions or talking about these issues, then it would be met with a great deal of support and consideration. But if it's Harry and Meghan, then they're whining, they're complaining. They want to do good work. They want to help people. And just like they did the Obamas, they have to silence them. They have to shut them down. They're not allowed to speak of their pain. One of the worst things that ever happened at a State of the Union was when Joe Biden attempted to speak about the loss of his son, and those monsters, those Republican monsters, those handful of people booed him and started to shout him down as he tried to speak about his son, because they did not want him to make a connection with other people, even if it could help people. A father grieving his loss and being honest and vulnerable and candid with the nation was shouted down in the very same way. And I'm not saying Dr. Tessa is doing that, but I'm just saying that is something that I noticed is a trend, is that anytime someone speaks of their vulnerability, anytime someone opens up about their feelings, especially if it's someone who's quote unquote woke, then they have to shut that down. How unfair is that? How ignorant is that? BW, thank you so much for the super chat. I live in Phoenix area. Went to Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock shows. Chris Rock whined about the Will Smith incident, MAGA in the crowd. How did I know that? Didn't I just say that? Well, anyway, I just said that. But that is who Chris Rock is cultivating as his audience. And who knows? Maybe he has changed, well, or maybe he hasn't changed. Maybe that's who he's always been, and I just haven't paid attention to him. So, and I guess it makes sense. I guess it makes sense. If you cannot be misogynistic with a certain type of an audience, then just go to the places where you can be misogynistic. Wow. Thank you so much, BW. I just had a revelation, and thank you for the super chat. Let me see. Yeah, they wanted them to be misbehaved teenagers when evil Papa removed their security and cut off Harry. They expected them to run back with their tails between their legs. The last laugh was on them. Thank you so much, GJ. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go on to, let me do this last one here. Shirley Kearney says, Baron, I think that they hate the fact now that Prince Harry is finally speaking up and speaking out. Prince Harry is speaking his truth. His feelings is his experience of coming from royal family of the monarchy. Yeah. And to be fair, Tessa did say at the very end that it's not just a family, it's an institution in so many words. I mean, her heart is in the right place, I believe, but she's not perfect. And we're the Sussex squad, so we can expect them to carry that burden, especially if she's in the capacity of a journalist or whatever her situation is. We can't put that responsibility on her if that's not what she signed up for. But for those moments that she has been, excuse me, supportive of the Sussexes, I'm going to applaud her and give her flowers. But for those moments that I feel like she's being too glib or sarcastic, I am going to have to call her out for that. So this was very sloppy. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it was very careless and sloppy. And maybe it's a teachable moment. She did, at the very least, she did respond to it. She did respond to it. So I'm going to give her credit for having responded to it and making a TikTok video to explain herself. And maybe, just maybe, it was just, yes, I'm tired. I said the wrong thing. Maybe that's what she's trying to say. I don't like that we have to try to guess or figure it out, but maybe that was it. Maybe I'm just tired. I said the wrong thing. And oh, did she really? No, she really say that? Are you sure that she said that? Are you sure Dr. Tessa said that? Because she should know better. Are you sure it was Dr. Tessa? Let me just ask that because I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check that out. And I may or may not find it, but please be sure that that was Dr. Tessa. She did. Now, see, I'm sitting up here trying to take up for her, but now the gloves are coming off. That tears it. Okay, I'm through. I'm through. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, and I'm still going to check it out. But and the only reason why I'm surprised, the only reason why I'm surprised is not because I think she's super supportive of the Sussexes. I'm saying that because she should know better. Did she say that in this video I just played and I missed it? Let me see here. What? Okay. Oh, all right. All right, you guys. So let me see here. Dorothy Ross says, I was at a charity lunch with people that did not know. One female said that she hated Meg. Oh, I'm sorry, that I did not know. And I asked her when she met Megan, and she said, how do you hate? No, and I'm sorry. I said, how do you hate someone that you do not know, and then left? Dorothy Ross, I mean, somebody just blurted out, I hate Megan. Oh my God. Oh, you know, and sadly, because of this type of stuff, Megan is going to have to spend the rest of her life with a bodyguard. She is going to have a bodyguard every place she goes because of that kind of stuff. And that makes me sad. That really, really makes me sad. But is true. Megan is going to have a bodyguard, which means that they may have to write more books and make more docu-series. And I am going to buy more books and I'm going to watch more docu-series and I'm going to buy more Clever Blend. And, and I'm going to do everything that I have to do to make sure that they become multi-billionaires. That's what I'm going to do. Thank you so much, Dorothy Ross. Okay, I'm going to move on. All right, letters. Petty. Oh, you guys are going to love this. Petty King Charles should remember we forgave his affair, and he should have had he shouldn't have evicted Harry. Mirror reader Christine Brown says she's disappointed in our monarch. Petulant behavior, she says the Duke of Sussex should be able to claim his money back after paying millions to renovate Frogmore Cottage. What do you think? Well, let me share the letter with you. It says here, I'm disappointed in the king. Yes, Harry and Meghan were in the wrong, but I think Charles is very petulant and petty, removing them from Frogmore Cottage, which was gifted to them by the Queen when they married. Harry paid back the 2.4 million for renovation, and now apparently it has been offered to Andrew. Surely Harry should be able to claim his money back. Excuse me. Many people have family troubles but aren't evicted. I wish Charles would remember how we forgave him for having an affair with Camilla, which ended his marriage to Diana. We've talked too many, oh, I'm sorry, we talked to too many who agree with me. I'm sorry, I've talked to, what am I doing here? I've talked to too many who agreed with me. Christine Brown Hall. So, um, first of all, Harry and Meghan didn't do anything wrong. All right, let me just clear that up. But that is this writer's opinion, that they did. Yes, they may have been in the wrong. But Charles is being very petulant and petty, removing them from Frogmore Cottage. So this was printed in the Mirror. They actually ran this in the Mirror. And as you can see here, do you think it's fair that Harry and Meghan have been evicted from Frogmore? So I said no, still part of the family. And what I want you to notice here is look at the options that you have. Yes, they aren't working royals. Yes, but they should be handed back the 2.4 million pounds that they spent on it. Or why can't it be no, but they but they should be handed back the money? And then it says, no, that's the one that I checked. They are still part of the family. And then also, no, they spent but the no, they spent 2.4 million pounds doesn't say that they should get their money back or that they should stay in the property. So I don't like the question because I would have said no, but give them their money back. But I didn't even have the option to say that unless I could have checked two boxes. But yeah, that was an open letter to Charles III about his behavior. Let me see here. Lydia says, think of kids when they go to school and how people may speak of her as they get older. These hateful stories have an impact, at which was exactly why I was feeling a bit bewildered the weekend, is because the headlines are damaging. Whatever's in the story is the headlines that do the most damage. It's the headlines that you see at the supermarket. It's the headlines that are emboldened or bold letters and highlighted that people take with them, regardless of what the content is. That is what they take with them. And that's what makes it so dangerous, is that it is a mental cue to make sure that people feel hate and contempt for someone that they've never met before. And that is why I get so frustrated by those things. So, but one thing we could remember, uh, and that is King Charles I got his head cut off. The second Charles ruled through the plague and the Great Fire of London. And the third Charles, well, they said, let's wait and see what happens. Well, we're here. We're here. He's off to a terrible start. And knowing him, he's only going to go from bad to worse. William is behind Harry and Meghan's Frogmore Cottage eviction, claims Prince Andrew's pal, Lady Victoria Hervey. Now, I think that's that skinny girl that was on TV trying to defend Prince Andrew. But whatever the case is, I only have one thing that I want to ask. Hello, Ressa Myers. Um, did you hear this with your good ear? Because Ressa Myers, we only ever see one of your ears. So were you listening with your good ear, Ressa Myers? uh, Ressa Myers, was that in your good ear, Oh, was it in the other? Well, the non-existent ear. Anyway, let me stop being silly. Uh, I believe it was Charles, and I believe Charles tried to blame William. That's what I believe. And I believe William had his input, and I believe William made it okay for Charles, but Charles is the one that has to make the decision. So it's Charles who is responsible for their um, eviction, and not Russell Myers. Coronation party map shows no events registered in Scotland. The government has released a map tracking the coronation events taking place throughout the UK, which showed none registered in Scotland. I repeat, there are no official parties registered in Scotland. Only one is taking place in Northern Ireland in the city of Derry, Londonderry, a Catholic majority area of the province. Two are taking place in Wales, with the rest all going ahead in England. This does not mean there will be no coronation celebrations in Scotland at the beginning of May. The map only shows events which have been planned and registered with the DCMS. And so here's the map. You can see all those bubbles. There's one party in Northern Ireland. There are two parties in Wales, and all the rest of the official registered parties are taking place in England. The map created by the Department of Culture, Media, and Sports, the DCMS, allows the organizers of lunches, picnics, street parties, and other events to mark King Charles being crowned. According to the government map, 61 public events and 47 street parties or private events have been shared so far. In other words, nobody cares. There's not going to be any parties in Scotland. And as for the rest of them, they will be small gatherings to say the least. So there you go. Connie Barmer, what happened? I burst into tears when a guy I don't know said he hated Meghan. He had no permit to the Switzerland from the UK. Let me see. I called the police and they took him. Find out he was a stowaway. What? What? Okay. All right. Church Nelly says, aren't British people starving? Church Nelly, on the CBS News this morning, they had a report about the heat banks, about people going to public places and churches to stay warm and, in a lot of cases, to have a good meal. Sometimes the only meal they had that day. Isn't that something? Okay. Marin, I know that you feel frustrated about the headlines about Harry and Meghan. I have a very strong feeling God's judgment is coming and we will all witness it. Um, I hope so, Valerie. I hope it happens soon because I hate to see a bully um, seemingly unchecked. I hate to see a bully feel like they've actually won the day. When will the British people wake up? And Deidre Mikey says, Baron, not my king, not my Duke of Wales, always my Duke of Sussex. All right, I like that. Thank you very much for that. Okay, all right. So I have a feeling that Camilla would be willing to carry Charles over the threshold of the Westminster Abbey and down the aisle of the Westminster Abbey for the coronation, if that's what's necessary. There is no way that Clydesdale of a woman is going to miss out on this opportunity. But she better hope he makes it. She had better hope that he makes it. Otherwise, she's going to have to deal with William, and Wilma is not friendly. Even though he's being cordial with her, I have a feeling that William is going to do just like Charles did after, you know. And by the way, you guys, if you haven't watched Lady Sussex, she had a thing about Camilla. I know it does not seem like a very interesting topic. Y'all about sick of Camilla, but I promise you, you ought to go and watch the Lady Sussex. It was very informative. And while you're there, please like, subscribe, and share. It was very, very informative. Um, the Lady Sussex had a very interesting spin on Camilla. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to go and see it yourself. So, oh, let me get the link for that. But go over to Lady Sussex and watch that video. You will not be disappointed. Let me see here. It's right here. And I'm going to grab the link and I'm going to add it to the top of the chat for Royal Sussex. And then you guys can watch it yourself. But do it, do it, do it. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. There's the link. I just added it to the, oh, let me do it. Okay. I just added it to the top of the chat. Make sure you go over there and watch it because I promise you, you will have your eyes opened about that miserable woman. So that is that. Yes, absolutely. Dolores Williams, another great Sussex friendly podcast. Absolutely. But yep, I'm telling you, I was just like, huh, really? I'm telling you guys, it was it was very interesting. I'll just say it like that. It was very interesting. I'm like, okay, this is something to consider. Consider rather. Let me see here. Oh, you seen it? It was great about Camilla. Yes, Mary H. Yes. And while you're there, like and subscribe and even share. So there you go. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again because I feel like I may have missed something and I don't want to overlook anything because never know when that information might be important in the future. So that is why I am yes, yes, Anastasia. Yes. Yeah, and especially for those of you guys who miss the Sunday mornings with Tina and Michelle. This is not Tina and Michelle, obviously, but you're gonna feel the spirit of that, if you know what I mean. You're gonna have that Sunday morning feeling of waking up to Tina and Michelle. So that's why I'm recommending that you make sure you get over there because there's one point of view here, there's another point of view there, and aren't we blessed as a Sussex squad that there's different personalities that are supporting the Sussexes? Everybody has their own style. And that's what I love is everybody have their own style. So whatever you don't get from one, you'll find it someplace else, I'm sure. Um, and it just I think is good to have diversity. It's very good to have options. So that's what's important is that you have options. Okay. And with that, all right, let me go here. So, right here, you can see Glow had posted this reconciliation or only a truce, the Fab Four unexpected reunion, right? Not on the order of King Charles III. And then over here, you see how the king ordered his warring sons to reunite. Everything with Charles so far has been he said that, he didn't say that. He meant that, he didn't mean that. This is classic Charles III, indecisive. He may have said it, he may not have said it. But either way, everything about that day was Harry and Meghan. It was supposed to be the Queen's funeral, and the Queen couldn't even be the star of her own funeral. Charles is not likely to be the star of his coronation. We know who the most important people are. They know who they are. And the reason why there's all this going back and forth is because they know without Harry and Meghan, there's not a coronation. It's nothing to it. There's nothing interesting. There's no hook. There's no point. So they have to have them there. So if Harry is holding out until everything is the way that he wants it to be, and if Megan's holding out until it's the way she wants it to be, then I'm going to support their choice. Let's see. Charles won't let Archie be a prince as he plans to slim down the monarchy when he takes the throne. Well, so far, Meghan was right about that. Reportedly won't allow Archie to be a prince when he okay, so that's different article, same story. But then if you look over here on the right, just as a reminder, I wanted to share this with you. You have the Prince of Wales, George, Charlotte, Louis, Harry, Prince Archie, Princess Elizabeth, and the Duke of York, that pig, Beatrice, and who else is here? Sienna, that's the daughter of Beatrice. So that is the top 10 in the line of succession. And you have 5, 6, and 7th place held by the Sussexes. And then the remaining 3 by the Yorks. None of them are likely to ever sit on the throne. Those 6, none of them are likely to ever sit on the throne. And so what? So who cares? But is Harry's birthright? Those 3 positions are Harry's birthright. Plain and simple, Harry's birthright. And they're trying to erase that. And I don't like the fact that they are trying to erase that. It's not fair to Harry, certainly not fair to his children, and it's not fair to Meghan. I mean, even it's like this. When I'm committed, I'm committed. Even if I didn't think it was a good idea or didn't care, once I'm in it, I'm in it. I'm just speaking for myself. And so it'd be one thing if I said, "Oh yeah, I don't care. Oh yeah, I don't care about that stuff." But it's another thing when somebody wants to take it from me. It's another thing when someone wants to other me, or somebody wants to mistreat me just because they can. Then I feel differently about stuff. So I'm not saying that's what has happened to either Sussex. I'm just saying how I feel about that kind of stuff. Don't other me. Don't mistreat me. So that's it. I don't have anything else to add to that. All right. So Harry, I was wondering where this photo came from. There's actually 3 of them. This is the Travelist. The Travelist. And I was wondering, what does Travelist mean? Travelist has to do with travel, but Catalyst is someone who is at the forefront of change. And I'm not even looking that up, but I know catalyst means that. Catalyst is somebody who's a change maker, someone who ignites the change. And so Travelist changes the way people thinking about traveling. And so they have partnered with major corporations, especially like with the airlines, so that as consumers, we can make a conscious decision to calculate the amount of emissions that we produce. Like, okay, since I have time, I'll take a train because trains produce less carbon emissions than an airplane. But if I just have to be there, I'll take the plane. That's the kind of stuff that they want us to consider. So that's what Travelers is about. And look at King Harry. Harry living large and taking charge. I just love that. A born leader. I mean, take a look there. I mean, when you look at that photo, it's Harry and everybody else. And that's just the way it ought to be. Harry, and then there's everybody else. And that's why I love these. I didn't know where these photos came from, but I finally figured it out. And there you have it. Harry in the leadership role that he was born to have, but not in the royal family, but in his own life that he's carved out for himself. And that's what I love. Harry has carved out his own existence on his terms. He has his family, his wife and children, and his super supportive mother in law. He has all that going for him. And of course, he has his brothers, Prince Seso, and of course, Nacho Fagardis and others. So he has his sister, Serena. I mean, he has a big family. He has family. He has family that loves him. He has his cousins. He has his aunts on his mother's side. So he's doing okay. He is doing okay. Yeah, leaders are not born, they are made. Right. I'm sorry. Leaders are, okay, I got you. All right. And then lastly, there is the president of the United States at the Edmund Pettus Bridge. That happened today. They marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And last time, what's his name? Al Sharpton, he was kind of behind President Obama. Now he's up front. Last time he was kind of pushing around President Obama, but now I see he's finally made it to the front of the line. But there you go. That is a beautiful photo right there. And with that, you guys, I am done. Thank you all so much for joining us on Royal Sussex. And by the way, Royal Sussex has reached out to Buckingham Palace for comment. And I'm just kidding. I just love saying that. We reached out to Buckingham Palace for comment today, and they said, go to hell. Royal Sussex has reached out to Kensington Palace, and they said, are you black? Because you sound black. Oh, man. Not that there's anything bad about that. I'm sure they were only asking me if I was black so they could sell me Cambridge Girl, the no lie Royal Relaxer. Cambridge Girl, Cambridge Girl. All right, you guys. I will see you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Connie Balmer. And let's see. Thank you, Shelly L. Let me see. Who else is here? Joyce Anderson. Oh, really? The bench is, wait, where did that go? The bench is translated into Turkish. Very cool. That is very cool. I don't know who that is in the wheelchair. I don't know. Let me see. Reba Henderson says, Baron, you should have sent me for you. Oh, okay. I'll try to remember that. Thank you. The Green Nicks, thank you very much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Now, you know what? I would rather send Church Nellie to reach out to Buckingham Palace. Or oh, I know. I'll send Black Queen to reach out to Buckingham Palace. What could possibly go wrong? or send let me see. Um no, I would send Petal to reach out to Buckingham Palace because by the time Petal gets through dressing them down, they are going to be weeping like a baby. That's what I need. I need Petal to reach out to Buckingham Palace. Ooh, they'll be sorry. Yep. Is it Jesse Jackson? Okay, I know he's been in kind of poor health lately, but yeah, that does look like Jesse Jackson because he's a big guy. Jesse Jackson is about 6'2", maybe 6'3". So, and I see he has very broad shoulders. So yeah, that may very well be Jesse Jackson. Thank you so much for that. I didn't know that. Oh, wow, that's a good one. Oh, where are you really from? No, no, no. But where are you really from? Right, 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 right. But where are you really from? Oh man, that's funny. Thank you so much for that, Lydia. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you very much. It is almost 2.5 hours. Yes, good timing. Good timing. So thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow for certain. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Thank you for your generous contributions. I am always reminded that we haven't heard from Sherry Ware in a while, which is concerning, but I pray she's okay. And also, thank you, God, for a miracle, right? Right, Anastasia Isabella? We've had a miracle happen. Okay. And what else? All right. So, as always, our queens, Diana and Doria, because I promise you, I hold them responsible for these two charming people. I hold them directly responsible. And let's see. Let me see what we're going to close out today with. All right. Okay, Gail Anita has the last word, I think. She is a blessed baby. Congratulations. Your strength keeping up with us and having a baby at the same time is amazing. Gail Anita, that is absolutely on the target. Thank you so much. And so thank you, everybody. That will be the last word of today. And with that, we are going to cue the Ginger Avenger. Love you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow. Let me see here. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, that didn't work. All right, let's do this then. Oh, no wonder I'm looking in the wrong place. And cute. Uh, I didn't see anybody from the King family either, Deirdre Meinke. I noticed that now that you say it, I don't see Bernice. I don't see Martin Luther King III. I didn't see any of them there. That is a good question. Where is the King family? I don't see any of them. Interesting. Well, and now that I think about it, I have never seen them with Joe Biden during his administration. I wonder if there's any strained relations there. I haven't heard of any falling outs or anything like that, but I don't know. Maybe it's just an issue of a schedule. Interesting to think about, though. Where is the King family? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jennifer Clark. Thank you for being here. That is a good question. I wonder where. Very, very interesting. Well, I hope there's not any bad blood or something like that. Okay, so that should do it then. Um, unless y'all want to see Once Upon a Time again. With John Williams and his orchestra. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. I always feel like something big is about to happen when I see that. Da-da-da-da. Oh man. Oh, good night, Karen. Vinny Blair. Good night. Adios, amigos. Bye, dias. Arrivederci. All's well that ends well. You win some, you lose some. Um, what's another one? Easy come, easy go. What goes up must come down. Oh man. Okay. See ya. Good night, Mo Shannon. Um, good night, Lydia. Good night, Charlotte. Bonsoir, Charlotte. Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Très bien. Um, or is it muy bien? Très bien. Très bien. There you go. Très magnifique. Aha. Très magnifique. Thank you, Connie Balmer. I will. I'll make sure I get. I slept so good last night. I know I sound different. I slept so well. I felt so rested. I woke up. My ankles were nice and small instead of, bloated and full of salt and water. So yeah, anytime I wake up and my ankles are nice and small, I know I've had a good night's sleep. That's one thing about getting older. Some of us start to retain fluids when we're breastbroken. And I swear, sometimes I feel like I'm holding the amount of Lake Mead if I don't get enough sleep. Sing something. Oh, I don't want to sing. No, I'm so embarrassed. I don't like to sing. Please don't make me sing. I don't want to sing anything. Well, if you insist. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Yeah, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. And ooh, and I'm feeling good. Boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. And I forgot the words, you know how I feel. Right? Only if you insist. Only if you insist. Oh, did you? Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Baron, I just watched that docu about Camilla. Oh my God. Or as Charles would say, um, Camilla. Oh my God, Camilla. I hope those were organic eggs they were throwing. Camilla. Camilla. Oh my God. I hope those were organic eggs. Oh man. Okay. Let me see here. Cambridge Curl. Oh, you like my Cambridge Curl commercial? Cambridge Curl. The No Lie Royal Relaxer. Cambridge Curl. Give your hair a whirl. Cambridge girl. Cambridge girl. Okay. Good night, y'all. See you tomorrow.